Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Today we are joined by Shubham Khoker, who's the Chief Growth Officer of Rifa AI. Shubham, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Nicola. That feels super glad to be a part of your podcast. I'm really looking forward to the conversation.
Why don't we start, Shubham, by you telling us a little bit about yourself and your role at Rifa?
Sure. As you know, my name is Shubham. I am the Chief Growth Officer at Rifa AI. A little background about myself. I come from India. I did my engineering in mechanical engineering, but I don't really work as a mechanical engineer. I'm more of a growth and a business person. I started working in 2021 at a startup known as topmate.io, which was primarily helping creators and influencers around the globe to monetize their offerings. And then from there, I ended up starting automating call centers and back offices, trying to revolutionize the whole CX industry by introducing voice bots and chat bots at your back offices and call centers. Not really trying to eliminate the whole human force, but more on the side of, I would I say, optimizing or improving the efficiency by, uh, you know, optimizing the headcount by more than 50% of any back office or a call center. Currently, we only focus on regulated industries, like highly compliant regulated industries such as healthcare, insurance, BFSI. But yeah, of course, eventually the goal is to be, wherever there's a back office or a call center, we would love to see Refi AI bots helping people do a better and a productive conversation at a better cost with with utmost compliances and regulations being followed.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the biggest trends that you're currently seeing in the back office solutions industry? Is it these voice AI assistants that help streamline the communication?
Biggest trend or a change which we have seen since we started 2 years back is when we started, where everyone was looking at AI as more like cost saver alternative or time saver alternative. But with time, everyone, like today, if someone pitches AI, they are no longer pitching a cost saver option or a time saver option. It's assumed that this is like the bare minimum the AI should do. Now people are asking like more difficult questions. Like enterprises are asking more difficult questions, which is like, if can your AI solution help me generate more revenue or help me ease the process to generate more revenue? For example, let's take an example of insurance. Earlier, back in those days, insurance back offices or call centers were majorly focusing on, eliminating most of the human workforce and putting AI bots because that was a cost saver. But now at the same time, they want the customer resolution and everything to be as good as what it used to be a human. And if that's not there, then that AI adoption doesn't really make sense for those set of people. Similarly, is a case for, let's take an example of a bank. Earlier, they had a customer support. Now they have a bot talking to their customers. And they'll say, why don't you sell more? Let's take an example of a sales agent. Earlier, the sales agents were mostly used to screen the leads, to verify the leads information. But now the companies want the sales agents to convert the sale as well, close the deal as well. So yeah, that's the biggest trend we are observing with more and more AI adoption, more and more penetration of AI at different enterprises and different industries.
So what you're saying is that AI in the past was seen as more of a cost efficient alternative, and now it's really becoming like not if it can replace, but what else it can bring to the table.
Exactly.
Okay. And what's working particularly for Rifa AI, or what would you say is different about Rifa AI?
For us, the difference is basically we don't really are focusing on, I would say, like hyper growth or a very aggressive growth, because we understand that we work with highly compliant industries. And when you're serving a very high compliant or a highly regulated industry, there's going to be a lot of time we need to invest while building our bots or developing our bots. So we are taking at a very reasonable speed because we understand that. Let's take an example of a loan company. If you're working with a loan company or a loan lending company, then there are thousands of restrictions and compliance and regulation needs to be followed. So our focus majorly is to be as compliant as we can be. That the service, the quality output, the actual output of the bot is as good, or in fact better than a human. Because for humans, it was difficult to follow all the compliances, but with AI coming into the picture, yeah, what's working for us or what our edge is, basically we promise or we assure our clients or potential pilots that we make sure that all the compliances and regulations are being followed with utmost sincerity. So that's something we very dedicatedly focus on.
Made you start at this voice AI company?
I mean, back in those days in 2023, 24, when we were starting out, I mean, see, AI was already there, ChatGPT was already there, AI agents were already there. And then we realized that where can we chip in? And then we realized that when SaaS came, how do I say it? Kind of templatized a lot of work. For example, when Jira came, when Excel came, and these came, it kind of templatized. And then we realized with AI coming up, the input is gonna change. Earlier, people were typing a lot of stuff. Like people were writing a lot of codes. People were making PRDs. But now with AI coming into the picture, you're just you can just talk to a bot and you can do it. So that's why we started focusing on voice as an industry. And then eventually we realized that customer support, call center, back office is a big industry out there in US. Every US enterprise is more or less outsourcing in a call center or back office. And that's where we probably found the sweet spot. Of course, it's still a work in progress. We would haven't become too big right now. But yeah, that's how we figured out that yeah, voice is gonna be is gonna be a big space for AI to penetrate. And yeah, so that's what we've been trying to do, like helping helping automate the very regular, naive, mundane, non-cognitive conversations using AI so that the human bandwidth can be used to more meaningful work in the same industry, in the same landscape.
And Shubham, if you could wave a magic wand and change one thing about your industry, what would it be?
Voice industry?
Yes.
One thing I would like to change is probably, for example, we are talking right now. I'm answering, you are uh, asking a question. So there is like second gap, right? Because my brain takes a second to understand what you're asking and then I'm answering. But when a voice bot is talking, sometimes it takes a little amount of time to understand. And that's where the latency comes in. And also there's another concept called interruption. Let's say when I'm talking and you interrupt in between, but my mind is smart enough to continue talking and also process what you have just said, right? But with voice bots, these two things, latency and interruption, is something which is not something in par what humans can do right now. So if I have a magic wand, I'll probably run it to, make interruption and latency as good as voice AI would be solved if those two things are probably overcome.
Uh-huh. And looking ahead, what's your vision for Rifa AI over the next few months?
The bigger vision, as I said, is to probably be out there at every call center, back office, or every place where there's a lot of conversation happening on scale. But for the next few months, it's basically to that right now we are working with one industry, uh, but the next 3 4 months, or I would say like next 2 quarters, is to probably step into a newer industry because the current industry we are working, we now have a good share of understanding of their compliance and regulations, and our bots are good enough to basically pick from that what level of understanding they have right now and then build on top of it. So for us, the next step is to probably pick a new industry, get some clients over there, get some pilots over there, understand their nuances, understand the ground reality, understand the compliance and regulations, and do the same exercise which we had done with the current industry. Yeah, that's how our next few months gonna look like.
Can you think of any recent initiative at Rifa that you're particularly proud of?
Particularly proud of, yeah. So I would say like I can take the name, like how we are trying to step into healthcare as a new industry. So we tried to talk to a lot of people, but since we do not have a background in healthcare or reputation in healthcare, nobody was willing to give their time. Did was we probably we ended up putting out few job listings on LinkedIn and platform Indeed, and made the listing that hey, we are looking to hire someone from a front desk worker at hospital, and then we saw a lot of people willing to work for us. That's how we use them to probably get some understanding and insights how the on-ground reality is of a front desk worker at a healthcare facility. So that initiative really helped us in getting the new insights and start building our bots for that industry.
That's a very smart tactic to bring in someone that works inside of the industry, inside of healthcare. They have relevant insight
True.
about it. So Shubham, for listeners who are interested in following your work or just learning more about what you guys do, where should they go? Where they can contact with you?
My LinkedIn is always there. You can always ping me, email me, text me. I generally try to keep my inbox clear almost at a good frequency of every 24 hours. So yeah, if there is a good enough question or a good enough initiative from the other side, I'll mostly respond. Unless it's just a spam or a random thing.
Okay. Shubham, thanks for joining the chat, and we'll see you in the next one.
Sure.